You're listening to an episode of Metal Gear Resurrections. On this episode, I'm joined with Alessio Summerfield, filmmaker, writer, editor, and podcaster of the Metal Gear Mondays podcast, as well as a slew of nicknames like Papa, Ghost Daddy, and so forth. Hope you enjoy. And as always, our intro and outro is by Fingers. So, Alessio, thank you for agreeing to come on Metal Gear Resurrections. How's it going since it's all concluded?
It's going well. It's nice to be on here, Johnny. Thank you for having me. I do have to politely acknowledge that you're starting off in my book with negative points. I found out that you interviewed Sam before me, so now you have to build that trust back up. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I figured I think Alessio would be the busiest out of all of them.
Yeah. No. I'm never too busy to talk about Metal Gear. Fortunately and unfortunately, but.
Well, I feel like if I was going to ask, do I go straight to the top or do I work my way up?
All right. You're starting to win back some ground.
So for people who may not know or may not have possibly come to hear you guys, how did you get your start with the series in general? Where did it begin for you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this isn't too redundant or too much of an echo of what other people have said, but for sure it was that Pizza Hut demo disc. I think it was whichever one also had Ape Escape and was it Final Fantasy VIII? I can't remember if they were the same disc or not. There were two Pizza Hut discs. This was the first one. But yeah, it was just playing that dock section and the helipad over and over and over and over and over. And that's what really got me into it. And then I found out that it was on the NES. I was at a friend's house. He had a cartridge on the NES. It was hard as hell, and I did not do very well. And then MGS2, and the rest is history.
Nice. I'm somewhat jealous because I've talked to a bunch of people, and to hear you guys talk about the demo disc, and it's
oh dude, the coveted Pizza Hut demo disc. What all was on that? Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Hopefully my keyboard's not gonna be loud as hell.
That's right. I think you're the first one to mention that you said there's two different versions?
Yeah. There are two different discs. I think they came out at around the same time. Oh yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Okay, so I had this one. Yeah, dude. Talk about an all-star lineup. All right, I'm just gonna read it to you. It had Crash Team Racing, Final Fantasy VIII, Ape Escape, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Cool Borders 4, and I believe this is the one that had Metal Gear on it. Hold on. And then the other one had Sled Storm, Gran Turismo 2, Spyro, Ripto's Rage, Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation, and the next Tetris. But let me double check. Weirdly enough, it might have been a third one that had Metal Gear on here because I don't even see it on those. 1 second. Yeah, and I don't know I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or not. You know who was the head of the initiative to make these demo discs, right?
No. Who?
Reggie Fils-Aimé, Reggie from Nintendo. He was the head of Pizza Hut's marketing division, apparently, at the time. No. So this is the one that I had. I had Gran Turismo, Crash Bandicoot Warped, Medieval, Tomb Raider 3, and Metal Gear Solid. So there were 3 of them.
There's 3 of them. Okay, yeah, because I keep hearing everyone's story with a demo disc, and the games tend to be different from everyone's explanation. Obviously Metal Gear Solid, but
yeah.
all the other games, it's always different games. So I'm wondering, how many games does demo disc have?
Yeah, I think each one had 5. But yeah, it was wild. You would just order, I can't remember what the stipulation was, but it was you'd order a large pizza and I think a 2-liter of Coke. And it was just in there, and it changed lives, damn it.
I would say, from hearing a lot of people's stories, not just from me talking to them and from other people's podcasts, a lot of it, this game kind of opened people's minds when it came to gaming, how gaming can be different, how gaming can be more than just, because at that time when I was playing games, a lot of it was just Nintendo stuff. So it's always I'm totally, I'm one of the Mario brothers and I'm saving the princess all the time and I'm getting pretty stale at it. I'm this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Getting older. And so to have this game come around and show like how cinematic it is and how it kind of changed the landscape for gaming.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think at the time, so I'm trying to roll the clock back in my head and think about what was going on.
Mm.
So I think at the time I had been living in rural Florida, and I mean like straight up small town with like a single red light.
Damn.
I was in rural Florida, and at my house, I had a Sega Genesis and a PC. So I was playing like Doom and Vector Man and whatever, just all the time. And my cousin down the road had an N64, and he had GoldenEye, Super Mario 64, and like literally I would show up. He wasn't super great at games, so he would just be like, "Here you go." And I would just play, and he would sit there and watch me because he was like 4 or 5 years younger, I think. And that was pretty much like my gaming existence for a little while. It was like flea markets, just like super, like I was playing with it like the Atari 2600, and this was like the N64 was like pretty new kind of. So I was like very like whatever. And then like a year or two later, we moved into like a more like urban part of Florida. I moved into Gainesville, Florida, which is like a big college city. And I remember the Pizza Hut demo disc came to our house. So I had the disc before I owned a PlayStation, and I threw a fit about wanting to play this thing and not having a way to do it. And so after a couple months, my dad brought home like the old tank PS1. I think it was for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So we got it and like a copy of like 2 Extreme, which was like 989 Studios made a bunch of pretty bad extreme sports games. But yeah, and so for the longest time, I think I just subsisted off of that PS1 and a shit ton of demo discs from magazines. But yeah, MGS1 was, I mean, that demo blew my mind. Like even compared to GoldenEye and Blast Core and Mario 64 and all that other stuff I had been playing, it felt like the R-rated VHS anime movie you found in like the back shelf of the Blockbuster as like a 13-year-old. You know what I mean? You were like, what is this? So yeah, definitely blew my mind at the time.
Nice. That was pretty much like, this would be like a casual interview. So it's like, I don't like to give like people like, I'm going to give you 10 questions and you have to answer all these questions, please.
No, dude, I will find a way to talk about stupid shit no matter what you ask.
I would ask, which of the games is your favorite? If you're playing through all of them, time has passed. Which one has become your favorite, like above all else? I would say.
Oh man,
you can put a tier if you want. You don't have to like put just someone.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I think the first 3, so MGS 1, 2, and 3 are like head and shoulders above every other game. For me, like this is all the caveat is like personally, like so I think 1, 2, and 3 are the top for me. And I think, oh man, the hype that I had going into 3 was like insane. I think it was 3 might have been the first release in the entire series where I was well aware that it was coming and was very hyped that it was coming. Whereas 2, I like happened to stumble upon at a friend's house. I was like, oh my God, this is out. Like, this is a game. Like, I want to play this. And 1 had been out. Like, I think 1 had been out by the time I actually got my hands on a full copy. And so 3 was like, for me, it was the first like day one. Like I'm there day one. My parents got it for me. But yeah, I don't know. I think ideologically and philosophically, I think 2 did shit that broke my brain and shaped the things that I like as an adult. Like to me, like 2, I don't know. I think MGS2 saying it in a postmodern world, I think it sounds kind of tropey that like, oh man, it blew my mind. But like 2 really did make me think about media in a different way. But Metal Gear Solid 1, I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I think there's something about the sound and the atmosphere and the graphics and just all of that. It's like the moment I hear any sound from that first game, it's like my body just, all the hair stands up on my body and I'm like back in 1999.
I would ask, did you like or did you hate when they did the switcheroo in Metal Gear Solid 2?
Dude, I loved it. Like I was
Yeah.
so there for it. Like I was so confused because it was like Solid Snake. There was the whole situation in the tanker, and
Mhm.
then Snake's dead, but is he dead? Who's this guy? And then it was like immediately after that, it's like, who's this other guy with the big shoulders and the cape who says he's
Mhm.
Solid Snake? And it just felt like the We're All Squidward episode of SpongeBob at a certain point. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, that was probably the first time where I had I had zero expectations, not because I came to the game without any,
Mhm.
but because every step of the way I got kicked in the balls and was told, like, you're an idiot for thinking that. Here's something else. You know what I mean? Like hitting the pause button in the last part of the game. So like when you're
Mhm.
in Arsenal gear and you're naked riding,
Yeah.
hitting the pause button and just seeing like the serpent egg on top of the
Mhm.
turtle thing, like I was like, what is happening? Like, I don't, in the best way. Like that game was just pure magic. You had no idea what was going to happen at any moment.
I would say, and I've said to the people, like, most of the people I talked with, they did not hate
Mm-hmm.
Switch. I mean, when I played it, I was still in high school, and only one friend out of like a class of 3,000 at the end that played Metal Gear.
That's crazy.
I had one friend, and it was like between me and him. He hated it. I liked it at the time. I wasn't really like on the internet as much because it was mostly like a lot of like chat rooms or like AOL, IM messaging people like,
Totally.
and I was mostly like relying on gaming magazines like like EGM, trying to remember what else, Game Pro, like all the
Dude,
ones at the
I miss
time.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, like official Xbox magazine, PlayStation
yeah.
magazine. Yeah, yeah.
I relied on that for like the information, and at the time I was like not like deep diving into the articles and stuff, and I was like, oh, who's this other character here? Looking briefly at it, from the previews, and I kind of like steer away from reviews because I didn't want to spoil anything for myself. But when I played it, um, I was like perplexed. I was like, oh, so is Snake gone for the rest of the game? Like, are we playing someone else? And then for some odd reason, before even Raiden started talking, I don't know what propelled me. Because from the artwork from Yoji Shinkawa, like all the promotional artwork, seeing Raiden, I thought it was a woman at first.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember that
Yeah,
because I
and
remember seeing some of the
mhm,
original art. Yeah, yeah, and being
especially,
like, oh,
yeah, especially with the pose where like Raiden does like with the sword holding above like his head and like kind of like
mhm.
exposing the buttocks, the butt cheeks.
Oh, right, right,
And I
right.
was
Yeah,
like, oh, I was like, we're gonna have like a female lead character now. It's like this is gonna be interesting. And then when the mouth opens, and you hear the voice, like, oh, it's not a
yeah,
woman,
yeah.
it's a man.
Yeah, there was a shot. It might have been, oh man, I'm trying to think. It might have been closer to when Substance got announced.
Hmm.
But I think there's never been a more like gender ambiguous
Hmm.
piece of artwork for Raiden than this one. But it's like a shot of like Raiden like aiming a gun at you,
Yes,
but
yeah.
you just see like the eyes and the hair.
Hmm.
And like it is the most like gender ambiguous artwork I have like ever seen. I was
Yeah,
like,
because
this is wild.
I think under Raiden holding the pistol, looking towards you, I think underneath Raiden is like the landscape of New York City. Possibly,
Oh yeah, I think
I may
so.
be getting it wrong. It might be something else, but like, yeah, even that like didn't look like what you would see in the game because from the artwork, Raiden looked a little bit darker, almost like
Totally.
close to like olive tone complexion.
Yeah,
The cheeks were fuller, and I was like, oh, I was like that even like made it more so. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a female um character,
totally.
and
Have you ever read Berserk by any chance? The manga?
I briefly read it and watched the anime. Like anime has been like on and
Yeah,
off
yeah,
in
yeah.
my life, but yeah, I've
You know Griffith from
mhm,
Berserk? I was gonna say
yeah,
I get like Griffith design
yeah,
vibes from
exactly.
Raiden. Yeah, yeah.
And that's where I was going with. And then when you hear like Quentin Flynn's voice, I was like,
Yeah.
Raiden's man. Like, okay, next. And it's also like it keeps going like even funnier in the game when the president like accosts Raiden by like grabbing his crotch.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I was
that.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I was like, he went straight for the crotch. Like, why? He's like, oh, you're a man.
I remember it was such a weird
Mhm.
I think
I think like sexually is really weird.
oh yeah,
For the
yeah,
whole
for sure.
game.
For
The
sure, for
whole game.
sure. I'll never forget this might have been my first like did you know moment with my friends was like you can unlock the infinite ammo and invisibility wigs for Raiden. And I was like, I think that means canonically Raiden is bald.
Yeah.
And I remember all my friends were like, you were reading way too much into this.
Well, why would it be wigs? Like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. When you see him like temporarily, when you switch, you like see him bald for a second. And it's like, what is happening? Like, is this real?
I completely forgot about the wigs until like a friend of mine told me like, oh, there was wigs instead of like bandanas. And I was thinking to myself like, wow, did like my brain broke? I was like, what is wig? It's like, is this new? Like, is this like, was this a patch? And like, no, it's been a while.
There's something
know.
about the last hour or two of Metal Gear Solid 2 where like I literally like the moment I finished the game, I started playing it again. Like no joke, like whenever I was like at the age that I was when I played it. I think I played it like maybe a year or two after it came out. I beat it and then immediately started playing it again because I'm going to be totally honest. I think from the moment that you wake up naked until the end of the game, there are so many moments where like you can't tell where they are in time or space. You're like, where are they? Like, where is Arsenal Gear? Like, what is around them? Where the hell are they having this conversation? Like, why are there no people on the street in New York? There were so many moments towards the end of that game where I was so confused. It felt like when you reread a page of a book like 6 times, where you're like, what am I reading? And so I just remember like I was actually just talking to Sam right before this call. We were talking about something totally unrelated.
Oh, okay.
And so he was the one who tipped me off and was like, yeah, I already talked to Johnny, so good luck. But I was talking to him before this and we were talking about like fatigue with the series. And I was like, yeah, I think one thing people don't realize is even before we did the podcast, I think I had beaten Metal Gear Solid 2 more than any game in the series. I think I'd beaten Metal Gear Solid 2 like 20 or 30 times. Dude, like I had save files. I had save files at like every cool cutscene in the game, just so I could like show people when they came over. I'm like, look at this vamp cutscene. It's so cool. Like, yeah, I was really into that game.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about the fatigue because I talked to Sam and it's like he didn't mean to put like a damper on anything because like I know now doing this because it's one thing like to hear you guys churn out like all this content at a time when you guys were running like hot. You're doing like weekly, like every week you're putting out more and more content, and it's like it's almost it's exhausting. I enjoy it. And I'm hoping it comes to a point where it doesn't become a thing where it's like, I really hate it. I need to. Because for me, I'm doing a like a digital journal, like everybody I'm talking with, to everyone who I'm coming across, basically bringing their experience, talking about their experiences, talking about what brought them to the series. So mine's a little bit different. I am covering the games with my co-host. I'm covering all the games. We're gonna do all the games, and then doing that, I realized like, holy shit! Like now I know what the fuck all these other guys were on and what they were.
Dude, it's wild.
Yeah, and
it's just the editing time alone, man. Like,
I would say my most edited, I think, was possibly the first time I talked to Tori because it became to a point where it's like we kind of like paused in the middle and lost what we were talking about and. What do we talk about next?
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I was like, I'm sorry, Tori, for like kind of like I don't want
no. It happens.
Your time, and she was great and everything, and she's continuing with me as well. She's kind of replaying the series as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Tori's awesome.
At the same time, I'm doing so. I'm like, yeah, like I'll bring you back as many times as you want, as long as I'm not bothering you. And she's been a real trooper.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I could see like from all the editing, like holy shit, like yes, there's a lot of work.
Dude, I don't know if it was because I was just wanting to like give it my all one last time, but those last 4 episodes, dude, I think I spent like 5 times as much time editing them as we did recording them. Like,
I think
so like one of them would be like 3 hours long. I think every episode that season was like 3 hours long. And it's like every single episode probably took me like 4 days straight of just like 6 hours a day or 4 hours a day or something.
I would say, yeah, because I think during that time you also like kind of like put your own like digital footprint into it, talking about how much editing you were doing and how much work it was being put into it for like the final run. And yeah, like now that I'm like on the other end, active listener, doing my own thing, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
really enjoy it because if you don't, it's gonna make you miserable.
totally.
But I would say, let me see, for the series in general, what did you feel about? I don't know if you guys call it five or V or whatever. 'Cause a lot of people like are very like divisive about it. They'll call it five.
Yeah, it's Metal Gear. People have
V.
opinions. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they'll say Cinco. I'm like, it's five. Whatever anyone wants to call it, I'll go with the flow of it. How did you feel about like the end for like what the for the time being is the end?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I It's a weird, oh man. So again, kind of going back to what I was saying about Metal Gear Solid 3. I was actually out of the country when 4 came out. And I didn't have a PSP when Peace Walker came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, 5 was kind of like, okay, I have the systems. I am here for this. I am available. I'm like, when Ground Zeroes came out, it was like literally I was like waiting in line at a Walmart in the middle of rural Missouri and with one other dude. And we were like, please, please, please. And they gave us the copies and we were like running to the cash register. And I absolutely and totally loved Ground Zeroes. I was like, this is phenomenal. Like, if you could give me a Hitman level, like, give me 10 of these levels, this is the perfect Metal Gear game. Like, to me, Ground Zeroes felt like what I felt like. I felt like the kid playing the Pizza Hut demo disc again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was that level of like detail and cinematic sort of expression, and it just felt fresh again. And so I was beyond stoked when 5 was coming out. I was like eating up everything, like watching trailers, showing friends and family who don't give a shit about Metal Gear trailers and being like, look at those dogs. They look amazing. Like, I was so excited. And when the game came out, like I definitely stayed excited for a while. I like ate it up, ate it up, ate it up. And then in the middle of that, I don't know why, but like I just kind of this like sinking feeling kicked in where it was like, oh, like after the first 4 or 5 hours, it's like, oh, we're not really getting any like meaningful cutscenes anymore. And like, oh, they're not really talking as much anymore. And like, oh, I don't really know why I'm doing the thing that I'm doing anymore. Like, it just like, it started out so strong. And then by like the midway point, it just kind of felt like checklist Assassin's Creed kind of gameplay. And don't get me wrong, like, the flexibility of the systems was amazing. I mean, the fact that I could be in a boss fight and then just airdrop supplies and plonk the boss in the head and be done, like, amazing. But when you find a strategy that works for you, you don't try anything else. And so like 40, 50 hours in, when I finally saw like the final credit, the 80th credits roll.
Yeah. Oh god.
I don't know, man. Like, as a sort, like, knowing that in the wake of that, I think the Kojima thing happened before the game came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like breaking down as between Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. So by
Right,
the
right.
I think we were hearing like things where it's like Kojima's on vacation.
Right. One, I remember
Yeah.
it shed a whole bunch of light
Mhm.
on the side op on Ground Zeroes, where you're like erasing the logos for the games.
Yeah.
And like Kaz says some shit about each of the games. And it's like, it kind of, I remember, yeah, because I remember when Kojima left, it was like, oh shit, he was leaving clues in the game. But yeah, I was beyond thrilled because it's like, I remember a day or two before the game came out, I watched like a video of Kojima going to visit a kid's family who, like, the kid had died of cancer and didn't get a chance to play the game. And he had like mailed the kid a copy before the kid passed away. And like Kojima just like went to their house and hung out with his parents. And so it's like, dude, I was like maxed out. I was like, hell yeah, this is going to be great. It's the last Metal Gear. It has to be, because Kojima left. Like, it better be the best one ever. Yeah, man, I felt
Feeling.
Yeah, man. It's like, yes, I felt a phantom pain, but I disagree with people who say that that was like intentional. I don't know, man. It felt like too little, too late. Like it just felt like, to me, the end of 4 felt more
Mm-hmm.
final than 5. Um, and I understand that like 5 is supposed to be like the lead into Metal Gear. May have said this on the show. I think for me, what would have been the ultimate, like for me, what would have been the ultimate, like, okay, Kojima, you win. This is it. This is over. Holy shit, that was amazing. Would have been if after he does the tape recording of the Operation Intrude
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear thing,
Yeah.
if you would have seen a Fox engine young Snake enter outer heaven, even like not like unplayable, like just a
Mm-hmm.
scene of him like entering the facility. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like if I would have just seen that, I would have been like, we're good. I don't need anything else. You did it.
I
But it
was.
just felt, I don't know, it just felt lacking, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah, because everyone that says like, well, that pain you're feeling, that longing's meant to be. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think what happened was everything behind the scenes kind of fucked up the plans for this game, because I'm pretty sure what Konami being a business and everything, and pumping so much money into this franchise, and having a creative who is like sucking up so much money,
Oh yeah.
like a product that's like game after game after each entry, it's like each entry's almost, it's great. Like you're not getting, you're somewhat getting your money back. I don't know how much you're getting back entirely after putting up all that money up front.
It was a ton of money. I think it was like over $180 million or something
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like territory of like a movie budget.
Oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
like Grand Theft Auto levels of
Yeah.
money. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there was like plans to be like downloadable content, mission,
Oh, yeah, tons of stuff. Like,
continue the story wise, all that stuff.
I think the release date was sanctioned by Konami. Like, I don't think, for all intents and purposes, like I don't think that they were fully finished with development by the end of that whole situation.
Mm.
And that isn't to say that what's in there is broken or anything,
No,
but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a weird.
it was a weird breakup. Like mom and dad got divorced.
Yeah, it just felt like a weird moment, man, because it was like
Mm.
25 years or something in the making, 22 years, 23 years in the making, and it's
Yeah.
like it just didn't feel like, I know this is going to sound super goofy, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like even like Disney and Marvel and all these people understand that like the last one should feel like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't quite shake the feeling that like doesn't have the ceremony at the end to really like, it doesn't feel like they formally said we're done now. Like it just felt kind of left on like a weird note.
Yeah, and probably like a lot of people felt like a little hurt not hearing David's voice again. Like it always comes back to like, well, David wasn't in it, so this game doesn't feel like all the other ones. I go like, yeah,
Right.
but technically the last one. I'm like, if you had maybe a quick, like you said, like show
Oh,
David,
dude, if you
or
would have
even
heard,
if you
yeah,
would
if
have
you would have
heard them,
heard David at the very
or
end.
yeah, like start up like that time would have been like a radio transmission. It would have been codec yet for
Yeah, if it would have been like 20
yeah.
years later or
Mhm.
whatever, and you just hear like, I made it to the facility or
Yeah.
something, and just like credits, like I would have been like,
And
yes.
yeah. And I always tell people like, well, you wanted to like kind of like compromise with people and all that, like maybe have, because I don't know what happened. I don't know what the story was.
I don't think David even knows what happened. He just
Yeah,
said he never got contacted.
yeah, because I heard like interviews and stuff, and like kind of like one of those things where it's like no one talked to each other, so nobody knows like what the real answer is. Like people who know are the ones that, like, I can't contact. Like who can contact? Like will they say it? Will they not say it? Maybe they did some middle ground thing where to please all the fans, where if you had David for Ground Zeroes and for the Phantom Pain, you would have like David Hayter and Kiefer Sutherland like read all the dialogue within, because it wasn't that much to
Yeah,
begin
yeah, yeah.
with.
One spoiler alert, like they
Yeah,
totally could have done it
and they could have like
and treated it as part of the like mind fuck that was happening. You know what I mean?
exactly, yeah, you're saying you're going where I'm going, and it's like you hear like David's voice in the beginning, and like as the walls are breaking down and like V is remembering who he was, then you would hear, oh, Kiefer Medic voice.
Right.
That
When
would,
they sound
yeah.
so like the timbre and the sort of graveliness of their
Mhm.
voice, like if you slipped in a Kiefer sentence into the
Yeah.
middle of like a David Hayter paragraph, I think people would be like, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
what was that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. To kind of like play with the game, because the game was supposed to like have like all these things where it's like, this character you're playing, it's like they can't believe what they see or hear because of this like shrapnel like into like flush into their brain. Like you could like play with like so much like auditory and visual,
Yeah.
which I think they were gonna do with like all the stuff like they data mine later on. The scene like, oh, there was like I think like things where it's like he got hit and he didn't see like colors correctly, and that's why he
Oh,
shot
that's awesome.
Eli.
Oh, right.
That would have been
Yeah.
great. I was like, even it's like, why couldn't you like done that in the actual game where he
Yeah.
gets
It's
like
just,
hit,
it's
like
so
all.
weird to come from like, this is why I don't necessarily follow when people are like, no, man, it was part of the plan. Like,
Mhm,
I guess, so quick two-parter. One, I think Kojima's a little like George Lucas, where people put way too much stock
mhm.
into him having had a grand vision the whole time.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, like Kojima does meta stuff, totally cool. Kojima, contrary to popular belief, really does like a meta thing in like a scene here and there. This idea that like the whole goddamn game and all of the development and all of it was like some grand puzzle that we still have yet to solve. Like, I think we're putting too much stock into that. And I think number two, like, these are the same people who real time mapped like ice cubes in glasses in Metal Gear Solid 2's tanker
Yeah.
that melt in real time. They could have done detail work for a Metal Gear Solid 5. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
it's just, I don't know, man. The whole thing's a little bizarre. But I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like I would say, like after all these years, like Jima's going to what looks like to be his next franchise, and I don't know what he's doing with Microsoft. Some
Oh, yeah.
game, but like that's still a mystery. And you hear like all these stories, like everyone's talking, probably like past all like whatever they had to sign to say like, yeah, I won't talk within this time frame about what happened during this time. And now you're hearing all the stories like where forgetting this person's name, where they had to like remove T, like so the person who was in charge of that
Oh, yeah.
about it and said like, yeah, I was the person responsible for setting up the removal. And it was like one of those weird things where it's like weren't used to hearing something like that. Like, yeah, we have to remove something right now, so no, it doesn't get downloaded anymore. And I think what it was is that there was going to be they had to keep paying Norman Reedus possibly for
Oh, to
using.
keep it up.
I think for like the end where you like if you get to that end, you
Right.
him, and there was probably some
I didn't even think about that.
contracts. Yeah, I thought it was more like on the music end, or maybe like something to do with like some other licensing that was
Probably
in
like
the game.
server cost for keeping it up too.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where they were like they just said like don't ever ask us to do that again, because it was one of those weird things that they had to do and they did not enjoy doing that. So it's like you're hearing all these stories, people in the stuff from the past, and I'm trying to think. It's like one of these where it's like all this stuff is like weird and all up in the air and mysteries. I'm pretty sure like it'll start coming out where people will start talking about it like, as time goes
Yeah.
on.
I
Or
mean, it's
maybe,
kind of like it's like the
yeah.
moon landing faking. Like to me,
Mm,
the best piece of evidence as to why the moon landing was not faked
mhm.
is that given a long enough timeline, people will fucking spill the beans.
Yep.
And I think kind of like what you're saying, it's like over time we are going to get a clearer picture of what happened, I think.
Yeah. It's like, saying like loose lips sink ships.
Oh, yeah, for
Instead
sure.
of saying an actual saying. Same thing with like Norman Reedus. Like I think he like blurbed like, "Oh yeah, I'm on Death Stranding too." I go like, "Well, yeah, of course he'll blurb about it because he probably doesn't like realize like, oh, I shouldn't talk about this really."
Yeah. He probably doesn't even know if it's been promoted
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. So it's like one
Yeah.
of those things where it's like I've watched Norman Reedus like dump an entire container of Tide detergent into one single wash. I go like, I don't think he thinks these things very thoroughly.
Yeah. This is a man with notably the greasiest hair I've ever seen in my life.
Oh
Like,
my God, he's so even in the game Death Stranding and in The Walking Dead, he is so greasy.
yeah,
In real
bro.
life, in real life, and you see him on the red carpet, I'm like, this man is so greasy. Like, what does he put on himself?
Dude, he came out of the shower in Death Stranding and somehow looked dirtier than when he went in.
And then I'm currently listening to episodes of Sam and um, blanking on the rest of the crew, like Chris and
Oh yeah,
Cole,
Cole.
talking about Death Stranding and how, Norman's not really cleaning himself with like soap or anything, or like I'm thinking of stuff like as I'm driving, I'm like, oh yeah, he doesn't even have a loofah or anything. Like, how's he scrubbing that shit off
Yeah,
his body?
exactly. What
Like
is
he
he
looked
doing?
dirty. I'm like thinking, I was like, oh wait, but this is the future. Maybe they infuse soap within the water.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like, no, that's too much.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
no, he's a dirty boy. He wants to stay dirty.
Yeah,
But
I am curious, like somebody who was a part of the machine a little bit.
mhm,
I am curious as to how, I don't know, man. I think Kojima is very good at looking ahead
mhm,
and putting, like, I don't know, I would almost say just putting two and two together. You know what I mean? Being like, oh, well, we're already doing this,
yeah,
so it will likely be like this in 20 years.
mhm,
And so I don't know if it was just MGS2 talking about data manipulation
it was.
and tracking people and blah, blah, blah. But like a lot of people were like, oh shit, that was kind of prophetic. And then people were saying the same thing about Death Stranding with COVID. They were like, oh man, like Kojima's got this crazy vision. I kind of feel like I'm part of the problem where it's like I kind of peddled this like, oh,
Mhm.
Kojima is so crazy genius level, like blah, blah, blah. I'm curious to see if it will continue throughout the rest of his life, where people are just like, Kojima is the smartest man in every room all the time. Like, because I do think there's a little, I don't know, I think a lot of the fatigue actually just kind of came from some of the like deification
Mhm.
of Kojima more than the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like, as I was listening to your guys' episodes and like hearing like the segment where you got to the part where you're like interviewing people who are the voices and like working behind the scenes, especially with Jeremy Blaustein,
Yeah, yeah,
where it's like, this person is also like a man who, like everyone else, we're all fallible. Like, not, let's look behind the curtain. Like, it's almost like I was comparing it to like the Wizard of Oz. Like, you
totally.
see the great and powerful Oz like showing all these great things, but no, but he's using like things that people haven't seen at the time, look more powerful and almost like godly.
Totally.
Hearing from all those interviews where it's like hearing about like, yeah, there was also other people involved, like not just Kojima. I guess he's like basically like he's managing all the talent to make sure like everything's running smoothly. All the work's being put on time, because it all falls on him. Like he is the person who's in charge.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things like, yeah, there are other people. Like I always say, like, I don't know. Like I'm not one of the people who like go deep dive into it. Like that's why I rely on like other podcasts,
Right, right.
because they'll like going further than I'm going and talking about the people who are actually putting the work, putting in like all the things that we enjoyed about these games.
Yeah, yeah.
Like kind of like what you were saying, like we only hear about this one man who's propelled himself almost to like a rock star level.
It's super weird. I think now that you say it, I think point in the show that I started to feel a little bit of fatigue and sort of disillusionment in the sort of like cold of Kojima.
Mm,
Uh, I don't. I think that's making it sound too extreme. When
mm,
I started to kind of realize, like, wait a minute, there might be a little bit more going on. It was around the time of the interviews, and I think from talking to Jeremy, like you mentioned, but then also talking to like Chris Zimmerman Salter,
mm,
talking to just all these different people, Ryan Payton,
mhm.
hear how much work they would do, and then to hear them also turn around and very specifically say, never even spoke with Hideo Kojima.
Mhm.
And that's for me when it like blew open this thought that it's like, there's a ton of work and energy and creative spirit that's going into this that like he doesn't even know about.
Exactly.
Like he wasn't like his managers, like the people he manages were managing those people. You know what I mean? And it's like, and in Jeremy's case and Chris's case, like Chris is directing the voices of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Kojima's not involved in her world. You know what I mean? Like, so if anything, I'm like, dude, honestly, like we probably owe Chris more than we owe Kojima for the performances that are in the game. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah,
it's just stuff like that where you're like, wait a minute, like what the hell? Like, why are we looking at that guy when there's like 45 people over here? Like,
exactly. And I would say like, even like in any field, it's like a lot of attention's towards the men and
totally.
to the women. And so whenever I get the opportunity, I'm going to pump up the women who are especially in the Metal Gear community, who are like vocal and they are seen, but not seen like fully.
Right.
Because it's like this, I don't know what it is, but it's like this thing where it's like, oh, you're a girl? I think you understand video games. Like, no. But
yeah,
first,
it's bizarre.
Don't dismiss them because that's 50% of basically the gaming world. It's like it's not all just men. Like this is not a sausage.
Totally.
And you know, any opportunity I get, I'm always gonna like prop up the female voice versus like the male voice.
Dude, my favorite voice actors, I would say a majority of my favorite voice actors are like all women.
Yeah. And like hearing all the interviews, like I was perplexed to hear about Chris Zimmerman. I'm blanking on her final last name. Salter?
Yeah.
I was completely like, baffled, like how she didn't have like much. Kojima didn't like really hardly any communication. I go like, well, this is the person who's directing all these voices for this part of the world versus your part of the world. I can understand, like, yes, you have your own voice actors, you probably have your own director over there, but you also have like another part of the world that basically adore these games and also like idolize you, who you put your name on, which I don't really see much a lot in gaming. Like,
oh yeah, like hardly at all.
Like that's more like for film,
right?
You would see the director's name on the billing, on the posters.
Well, and real quick to add to that too, so the Metal Gear, what the fuck was it called? So we got VR missions, but over in Europe and Japan, they got like the combined, the integral. So integral English voice acting, even in Japan. And I can't recall if it's this way or not, but I believe, if I remember correctly, there was a certain point in the series history where it was just straight English voice acting, no matter what, no matter where you were. And at least in Japan, I think it's English because Kojima thought it sounded more cinematic and it sounded more akin to what he was trying to channel. And so it's like, dude, like, again, I hate to say it, but it's like, so I say this about film a lot. The reason, so people are like, subs versus dubs, man. The only reason why I'm a hardcore subs person is because if I'm watching for the direction, and I'm specifically, like, I'm watching an anime because of Satoshi Kon. Satoshi Kon directed it. I want to watch it. I'm watching subs because I want to hear what he directed. I hear another language, I'm not hearing what he directed. And so it's like, in my mind, man, like Kojima managed Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Chris directed Metal Gear. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I put it like in like sports analogy, like where you have this franchise as your team and Kojima is the manager of this clubhouse. Totally. All these other coaches, you have all these other like staff members working underneath them, and he's just like, he's obviously going to get the credit when you get the win. Because what you normally do, like you give the manager the credit for everything, even though you have like all these other like countless other people are underneath, like I don't know how many hours throughout the day. And I'm pretty sure, like, yes, you have to like abide by whatever you have for like, you know, rules and regulations when it comes to like the workplace. But I'm pretty sure people like working like
Ryan Payton was talking about how like on Portable Ops, they like all slept under their desks for like months. But and again, like if anybody's listening, I'm not trying to say Kojima doesn't deserve credit. I'm not trying to say that he's not, because like at the end of the day, it's like he wrote these characters
Mm.
that he might have stolen from John Carpenter movies, but he wrote these characters. He wrote this world. He planned the scenario. He worked with other writers for sure. But it's like at the end of the day, like he had an idea. People executed on that idea. Yes. But I think this weird, like, especially these days in 2022, back in the day in 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, if you were like, I love Metal Gear, people are like, yeah, dude, Snake's badass. That music cool. The game plays really cool. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But these days, you're like, I like Metal Gear. And people are like, dude, Hideo Kojima is the man. And it's like, what is happening, guys? Like, dude, I don't, to put it another way, now that you mentioned like kind of known game directors,
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to find, if I were to go to Times Square and interview 1,000 people, I would be willing to bet you money that 3,800 of those 4,000 people, the 4,000 are Mario fans. 3,800 of the 4,000 don't know who the fuck Shigeru Miyamoto is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is Metal Gear, like, why is Kojima more or less like an equal to, like, Metal Gear equals Kojima, but like, I don't know, it's so weird, man.
Yeah, because like, even I didn't know who like directed like Mario games. Like, I didn't know until it was like later on where like we're seeing like the emergence of like social media, like, you know, the beginning of MySpace and the beginning of Facebook, where like we're seeing all these like people who worked on these games getting their profiles and getting their voices out there. And I'm like just sitting there on the computer going like, wow, I didn't know this person was, you know, in this game. And then they'll talk about other stories about working on other properties within the same company. And for Metal Gear, I'm pretty sure like a lot of people know, like, yeah, it's Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think he is 100% riding the wave because the name of his production company is Hideo Kojima Productions. Like, he's got his name on every shirt, every pair of socks, every, you know what I mean? And it's like, like he saw an opportunity and he's like, yes, push that agenda, please.
Exactly. I was gonna say exactly, like branching off onto his own, like, yeah, get your name out there, like put on everything, put it on a pop socket even.
Oh yeah. I feel like crazy to me that, like, to me, the timing of him leaving, I am curious to know who initiated the break. Because I almost feel as if Kojima, at sort of the height of his power, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
Like, he had just fooled the world with PT. People were losing their minds. Everybody knew who he was. And it was almost this, like, at the height of his power, him and Konami are like, bye. And it's like, okay, would you have done that 10 years ago when nobody knew, like, when people knew him, but not as many as after PT, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I kind of feel like, I don't know if you know this or not, but Glenn Danzig, the singer of the Misfits, his number one income source is the fucking Misfits t-shirts, like the logos and stuff.
Oh, really?
Like, he makes an insane amount of money off of that. And it's so weird because looking at the band and like their vibe and kind of where they come from, you would never in a million years think like, oh, anybody is loaded who's in that band. But the fact that he made, like, he intentionally, if I remember correctly, he forewent like music royalties and instead opted to put all of his power into the merchandising rights. And so it's like, I just think of people like that where I'm like, yeah, man, like, dude's riding high because he made like one very smart business decision. And I sort of feel like Kojima's sort of in that pocket a little bit.
And I would say, like, especially since you mentioned like Times Square, like it didn't help, like, giant ass, I don't know if it's still up, there's a giant billboard with his face on it with the podcast that he's doing with Spotify.
Oh, I need to go down there. I haven't been down there in a minute.
I haven't been down there in like, I was there last week to go see Amy Schumer at the Hulu Theater.
That's crazy.
It's just the butt of Madison Square Garden.
Johnny, are you near here?
I live in Poughkeepsie, New York. I'm
Oh,
originally
word. So you're close.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm originally from Sunset Park, Brooklyn.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm in Astoria, Queens right now. So
oh, you're in Queens. Let's go, Mets.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, I'll edit that stuff out so this way.
No, dude, it's fine. I mean,
Like, if
people
I
can
was gonna
literally
say,
Google me and find me.
okay, because I'm always like, if you mention anything, like tell me what to edit, like, and I'll do it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm the only human being in the United States with my name. I would bet I'm probably the only person with this name, period.
Yeah, I would say especially with the first name. I don't normally hear Alessio a lot.
Yeah. So, like, no joke, if you go to look at the census data, it's like there's one Alessio Summerfield. And so, unfortunately, what that means, if you Google me, you will find everything, like, immediately. But
Gotcha.
it's all out there.
I would say, you know what? I jumped into the podcast for Metal Gear Mondays. It was like tail end with Sam, sort of like he was still there, but he's with the new crew.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left afterwards, and then it became like Revengeance.
Mm-hmm.
And so after it ended, I went back into the beginning all over again. I kind of listened to like you guys, crew, you, Sam, and Isaac, for the remastered episodes to kind of like get my feet wet and go like, am I going to enjoy this podcast? Because I have no idea. Because I'm like everyone else, I went to my podcast app and I just typed in Metal Gear Solid, and you guys are the first ones to pop up. And this is like around the tail end of 2019, before going to 2020, before it all went to hell. And
oh no.
we all got locked up. It was like a saver as well, because it's like at times it became like I was literally at home with like nothing to do. I needed something to listen past the time, and you guys were it. And I'm re-listening to you guys now, back to the beginning, catching up. And how many nicknames did you have? I'm trying to remember. Like, you were, what is it, like? It was Papa.
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Was it Ghost Daddy?
Ghost Dad for a while.
And there was Daddy.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, yeah, out of all the Ghost Dads, you're the only Ghost Dad I would take a drink from at a bar, and not feel I would have anything happen to me afterwards.
Well, I appreciate that as the highest compliment. Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird because I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts as well, and it's weird because like I'm not at this point in my life, I've kind of gotten over the hearing myself and seeing myself and being like uncomfortable just by that.
Okay.
But I will find myself randomly remembering a recording session and being like, I'll make a really good time that night. And then I will put the episode on and just like listen back, because it's almost like a time capsule of like that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, I don't know, man. I think so. I will say this, Johnny, I need you to tell me that you're going to cover Snatcher and you're going to cover Police Knots, because I still will wake up in the middle of the night covered in sweat that I never covered those games before we ended the series.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you if you would do a reunion because I remember like, wait a minute, you guys talked about it, but you never back and did it.
I know, dude. I really wanted to do it so bad. I wanted to. So the Holy Trinity is Snatcher, Police Knots, and remaster Metal Gear Solid 2. Because Metal Gear Solid 3 was the game that the format locked in. Like Metal Gear Solid 3 Episode 1, to me personally, is when Metal Gear Mondays was born. Like that is when like the format, the tone, the relationship kind of rapport, like that is when it all gelled, and it was like, this is the special thing now. And so it's like we did remaster Metal Gear Solid 1, so like check that off the list. But MGS2, Snatcher, and Police Knots, those are the three that if we came back, that's what I would want to do.
Yeah, because I'm working with Metal Gear D Model, and we're doing all the games, not just like the canonical games. We're also going into like the others like Kojima did, even the ones that he produced. Like we're gonna do Zone of the Enders.
Nice.
Sure. Because those are the two games I never played. I've played Zone of the Enders because it's like one of those things where I think a demo disc
Oh yeah. MGS2. Yeah.
And it's like I've never played it, I've never experienced it, so that's like a whole new territory for me. So like I was gonna ask you, like, what if there's another Metal Gear game or the movie? Would you guys come back? I know I'm asking, and
No, I know. Yeah, I'm not nervous about it because people have asked us. I'm not nervous about saying the wrong thing or whatever, but like minds. Like one, if there's a Metal Gear movie, no matter where I am, I will fly and I will meet Isaac and Sam and we will go watch it together, no matter what. Like whether that's recorded or not, that is happening.
yeah. I was gonna ask you, like, it doesn't have to be recorded. Like,
Yeah.
is there gonna be a reunion, even in spirit?
Yeah. Maybe we'll
there.
sit at a table and we'll have an episode happen that has no microphones. But I think, yeah, I mean, we would definitely go see the movie. One of the things that I have disliked the most from projects that I like, and this happened, so it's funny that you mentioned Madison Square Garden. So LCD Sound System, they did their big farewell. I'm a huge fan. And here we are in 2022, and they put an album out afterwards. They did a 2-week residency at Brooklyn Steel that I went to with Isaac.
Yeah.
Like they just, like they're touring again. They were on SNL. And so it's like, I don't know, man. I do like LCD Sound System. There's definitely a part of me that's like, hey, you guys fucking lied. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little irritated that you're doing this now. It's like a catch-22 because you're like, I was sad that you broke up, but now I feel more sad that you didn't stick to your guns. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I think for us, come back, I know it would be a lot of fun and we would kill it. Like honestly, like it would be great. I have a difficult time okay with coming back just because of how big of a deal we made the finale. You know what I mean?
I hear you. And I kind of like akin it to when Peter Jackson did the whole like Beatles project with us, where it's like everyone had this whole perception where, oh yeah, it was Yoko that broke up the group. And when you watch the whole documentary, which, it's if you're gonna watch it, choose a weekend and sit down and like kind of take it in, where it's like it was eventually going to happen. You have all these people, all these creative types where they want to branch out on their own and do their own things, and no longer like the group and everything, but they want to get past that, like everyone else. Like you want to continue on your endeavors. And that, like, it's just kind of like a thing where it's like I had to ask, like, if I had
no, totally. Yeah. Well, and I know Sam always jokes too, because he's like, hey man, it's just the movie, like we just do one episode and be done. And I'm like, yeah, dude, but the OCD in me is like, if I see the final season and then right below it on the podcast app is one more episode, that would drive me crazy. Like
it has to be a weird thing where it's like, do you under the old banner or do you do it as a separate thing where
like a weird one-off
special, like a almost like a
Discord only?
I
mean, shit, I might do that, who knows, maybe
it doesn't have to be recorded or anything.
Yeah. Maybe we just record an hour-long thing, put it up on Discord, and that's it. That's all anybody gets. If they make that movie,
if they make
it, vastly prefer that it just be Metal Gear Solid 1 and that's it. If they go after the franchise angle, I don't know if I'm going to be interested.
That has been like, I feel like, in talks for so long.
Oh yeah.
That there was a point where I'm even going back to like early 2000s, where I think it was even to a point where like with like because it was like a thing that may have been like with Universal Pictures, Steven Spielberg attached to it, and Tom Cruise when he was starting up his own production company.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, it's like we've been talking about this movie for so fucking long.
Oh yeah, it's turned into it's like the next Watchmen, because like the original Watchmen rights got sold to WB in like the 80s or something, or like the mid 90s, and it's like, dude, it took like 20 years for that movie to come out.
And it's just like with like everything else, like you hear, like I said before, like you're gonna hear stories of like things that happened in the past, like things we didn't get that we possibly could have gotten. Like we could have gotten a George Miller Justice League movie. What would that
It
have
would have
looked
been
like?
insane.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
We would have gotten a Tim Burton Superman movie, obviously with Nicolas Cage, but like
yeah, yeah.
how crazy would that have been? Like
David Lynch, Return of the Jedi.
exactly. And it's like hearing, he was hot and heavy. Jordan Folk Roberts was like hot and heavy, run the waves. I think there was an anniversary at one point. I don't remember.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he was like super hot on social media, like throwing all these pictures, and like fans were like eating it up. And then people were like dissecting, like, wait a minute, why is Snake shooting like geckos when he's like in Metal Gear Solid 1 garb? I'm like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on? Like, are you bleeding through the times? Like, that's gonna suck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Part of me wonders if that entire social campaign was not dissimilar from what happened with Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, where it's like that
Right.
Deadpool movie had also been in limbo for forever, and then he quote unquote leaked some test footage.
Yep.
And then suddenly everybody was like, we want to see this movie immediately. So part of me wonders if somebody at Sony wasn't like, hey, Jordan, if you're serious about it, show us the numbers. And part of me thinks that, like, unfortunately, we didn't hit the threshold, and that Sony was like, not enough people are going to see this. We're okay. Because I mean, it is a numbers thing. Like if they know that a movie of that scale is going to cost like $100+ million, like, and they know they're only going to make 25 at the box office, like they're not going to touch that shit.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things. It's like, do you want it? Because I kind of don't. Like,
Yeah,
I would. What they're gonna do?
Yeah, like hardcore when it comes to adaptations. Like I'm very not beholden. Like if you make something an adaptation, I want you to break it over your knee and reconfigure it to be the strongest version it can be on that format. So like give me a reason to read a Metal Gear book. Give me a reason to watch a Metal Gear movie. If it's literally just a 1-for-1 conversion, I don't give a shit. Like I'll just go play the game again. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
But like if you can make it like, oh, it had to be a movie because of this thing, then like, yes, I'm there. Count me in.
Yeah, because like the entire series is already like, oh, not say the entire series, but like the modern series is it's already cinematic. Like, what are you gonna do to change it?
Yeah.
Like, when I go to AMC Theater, are you gonna give me a control pad to save Meryl or kill Meryl? Like,
yeah, what's gonna happen? Like, can we all text whether or not?
Like, how are you gonna break what already is like showing me like, yeah, this is already like a movie already?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, and if they can solve that, like if they can make something special that the studio thinks is special that they're willing to take a bet on, like totally cool. Even if it's just like twisting the characters on their head or applying the mythos and philosophy of Metal Gear to a different thing. Like if the adaptation is unique and it's something worth checking out, like I will be like, I am not the kind of person that's like, hey, wait a minute, in the original source material, this person didn't wear glasses. Like I really don't give a shit. Like,
yeah. And I would say like if it didn't happen already, I would like probably like put it like what Black Mirror did when they had like their own interactive movie.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like one of those things like you have like all these like things you could like change up and dice up and everything. I was like, well, that was a neat project, a neat idea.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't think they really I don't know with all the streaming services, like they're kind of like crying poppy now.
Dude, it's weird. I put in for writing job that cropped up for Night School Studios, who did Oxenfree. But it's crazy that they are hiring like mad right now because Netflix bought Night School Studios. And then Netflix also bought like 10 other game companies. So right now there are a ton of jobs online. Netflix trying to hire video game people. And so it's like, it's so weird to me that all these companies are like, oh, we're losing so much money. And it's like, dude, you're also buying companies by the boatload. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'd say like with Brothers Discovery at whatever.
Oh yeah.
It, like I just saw today that they lied about the subscriber numbers to make
Oh, I
it
didn't know.
look good, and now there's a class action lawsuit brewing up, and I go like, what the fuck are you guys?
Oh, so wait, did one company lie about the numbers so that they would
Yeah,
get
for the
bought by the
sale.
other? Oh,
Exactly.
that is some shady shit, dude.
I mean, I
That's
did,
crazy.
and then I'm gonna bring it back. Like this guy, I don't remember his name, but the Discovery guy is like doing this whole thing where it's like, well, he put down where it's like HBO Max is for men, Discovery is for women, and he's breaking out, dude. Like, no, HBO Max was more catered towards women. Like,
Yeah, dude, my wife watches more HBO Max than I have by a large margin.
exactly. Like, what the fuck are you like? Where are you getting your information from? Like, or are you just imposing your information on?
Right.
Because he was putting on like saying like, oh, it's HBO Max is for men in the like between the ages of 30 to 50, and Discovery is for like women between the ages of like 18 and 30. I'm like, dude.
As someone who's worked on several Discovery
Yeah.
shows, I'm going to go ahead and say that the actual
Mm-hmm.
target audience from the actual demographic data that we get on our side of things is that like History and Discovery and a few other networks, their target demo is like 55 plus, and it's white dudes.
Yeah.
So
And I was like, you're already wrong. I was like, dude, I was like, yes, like you said, like even my wife watches more HBO Max than I do, and I'm the one like pounding Discovery.
yeah.
And I'm like going all to like this supernatural like shit on there because it's like all this like stuff on there.
Totally.
It's like the fuck, like all these guys like are in charge who are promoting diversity and talking about it, but not really doing it.
Yeah, it's great. Well, and a little bit of a peek behind the kimono in that regard too. I have worked on several shows where there is a 100% of diversity quota. And I don't say that in like a bad way, but I just say that like when booking interview guests for like pretty major TV shows, the network 100% is like, hey, there are too many of this type of person. We want to replace all of them with these people. And it's like, cool. Okay. But again, like, yeah, I mean, that's who are like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this.
Yeah.
I am 100% all like, if Johnny, if you were like, hey, I'm only to have female guests, LGBTQIA plus guests, minority guests for the rest of the show. Alessio is the last straight white dude I'm going to talk to on the show. 100%. I think that's awesome. These having these quotas is not because they're good people. It's because they are corporations that would like to make money.
Exactly.
So.
And I was like trying to like talk like on my end, like trying to talk to people. It's been mostly men, and I would say I've been working hard, like day in, day out, more of the female voice, more of people who are just not just white men on
Totally
the podcast. And I'm not gonna say like no, they're not coming on to do it. It's like a thing where it's like they've talked to me like, well, I've been vocal in the past, and I've been right, and they've been basically listed for it.
Totally. Yeah, I can see that.
I would say like, and then now like, all right, we don't have to talk on like a mic or anything. Like, tell me about that.
Right.
That even sounds like even nuts to me. Like, why? Like, this thing was like on social media where like people, because they're behind a keyboard, they don't like they're not talking face to face, like live in person. Someone across them, and they can like say whatever they want to say because they feel emboldened because they don't, like I'm across like some of these people are like, I'm across like the United States, like I'm never gonna see this person ever again. So
right,
almost gives like people like a pass to be an asshole. It's me community. It's like, and then I get to like on my high horse where it's like, fuck them. Like I want to hear your voice, like
for sure.
like,
Well,
don't let them like affect it. Like
well, and Metal Gear is unfortunately a crossroads of a lot of shitty things. Like I love Metal Gear. I will say this until the day I die. I do not necessarily love Metal Gear fans, and I don't necessarily love
Mhm.
all the shit that comes with Metal Gear because you
Mhm.
get gun nuts, you get conspiracy
Oh
theorists,
my
you
God.
get the fucking vaccine will turn you gay people. You've got fucking anti, like, because I mean, I mean, to be totally honest, there's a lot of like sexist shit in Metal Gear.
Mhm.
You get a lot of that kind of stuff. You get like ex-military. You get, and none of the, I'm not saying these people are bad by default. I'm just saying it's a big stew where 90% of the ingredients are very masculine
Mhm.
and masculine with a lot of problems. And I don't, again, I don't mean like being masculine is problematic, but like, yeah, I'm from broken homes who join the military and that's all they know. And then they have these video games. And so you're dealing with like toxic gamer who is also very angry and violent and prone to being a gun nut or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just a
Yeah.
big conglomeration of. So there is a world in which, like, best case scenario, an amazing person is a Metal Gear fan, but
Mhm.
there's also a world in which, worst case scenario, the worst Metal Gear fan is also probably a pretty bad person in general, I feel like.
Yeah. Just reading through the comments, it's a mixed bag, and I'm not letting it out, but like you see like the negative before you see the positive, like
Oh,
always,
for sure.
like in everything. And when you see the negative, it's like a lot of like sexist fucking.
Oh, it's rough,
Also,
dude.
like the fact that like people can't get over like this is a series where there's a lot of like, let's just put it out there, like there's a lot of like gay, not gay stuff, but gay sex happening as well, and like,
Oh, yeah, totally, dude.
and that hurts you. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, have you played all these games?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of
what?
the biggest, most important characters in this franchise are bisexual
Yeah.
or like uh 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 pan or just like I don't know, there's just all kinds of crazy shit going on. Like, I don't know. Also, unfortunately, like the same series that like Dolph Fortune's father is 100% just based on a like black worker from Konami who Kojima didn't like and decided that like we're just going to kill this guy and I'm just going to make a dude black and give him his name. And it's like, and there's a bunch of like, I mean, I love Japanese culture and I love Japanese, yeah, but it's like there's a lot of like weird xenophobia and sexist shit baked in like by default on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I would say like it's maybe like it's down to like being like human in general.
For sure.
Where it's like you kind of you can find like almost any parts of the world really.
For sure. Well, and
And
especially like isolationist countries where it's like, I don't know, like it's Japan, even amongst other Asian countries, has this Japanese exceptionalism
mhm,
mean streak where they're just like we're literally God's chosen people. Like that is like traditional Japanese culture is very we
mhm.
are the best. Um, and unfortunately, like I mean, and they are fucking great at things, but it's like I think at the end of the day, too, though, it does put them in this weird space
Mm,
where they can do things like shut their country down for 3 years and not let anybody in, or kick people out of restaurants because they're foreign and nobody gets mad at that, or you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's just I don't know. There's all that to say that there are a lot of specific details that go into making something like Metal Gear, and not all of those specifics are necessarily nice things.
No. And it's those things where it's like you can't write the whole world.
Totally, for sure, for
The
sure,
world you live in, and just either you or you count your blessings of the people you have around you
totally, yeah,
that love you and accept you. And that's all
totally,
I can say.
yeah. And we're not all perfect. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I probably said 6 things in the last 20 minutes that somebody could come to my house and punch me in the face and call me an asshole for. But it's like, I don't know.
It would probably be like, Alessio, you said masculine was wrong. I'm gonna beat you out.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Well, it's actually kind of why I like the whole Raiden thing too, because it's like you've got this like very what's the word I'm looking for?
Not effeminate?
Yeah, not effeminate, but like androgynous. You have this like very androgynous main character, and it's like there's a part of me that like kind of thinks that when people talk shit about MGS2, they're being like dog whistle shitty about the girly boy who is running around naked. You know what I mean? Like,
I enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, dude, he's like, to me, it's silly.
I am gonna fucking spin him around and try to get a shot at his crotch. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. And of course, that was me. Like at the time, like what was it, 2001? I was 17, and I was like, I got over it, and I was like, every person where, you know, I'm not gonna be hurt by like anything that's being shown to me. Like, okay, you know, especially when they talk about like, oh, vamp, it's like they call him vamp because he's not a vampire, because he's bisexual. And I go like, why? Because he sucks?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I heard that for the first time, I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
I was like, so does he give good blowjobs? Is that like, that's weird.
Snake, anyway, do you know? Like,
and we got where it's like, you know, go to Peace Walker with a girl and a man at the beach.
Totally. Or if you go to Peace Walker, Kaz is totally a pervert for a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, right.
And it's like, well, I mean, she's not, well, that's how she's not actually 14, but it's like,
yeah, retroactively like alter the storyline where it's like, well, she's really 22.
Well, it's also a gaming franchise that concludes with two gay dads going off into the sunset with their sweet baby girl. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that. People they talk shit about 4, going, it's a glorified movie. Like, you know what? Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
Watching two dads trying to raise a girl right now, and like, this is the main story for me. I
think MGS4 to me is gonna take a hit out on me. MGS4 to me was a better conclusion to the series than MGS5. I truly believe.
I would say if we didn't have 5, I think everybody would have been okay.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Like, it was totally unnecessary.
You still would have gotten Peace Walker, and people were like, oh, you know, it was peaking, but guess what? It got re-released.
It's great. Yeah, that game's great.
It's even with the HD collection, they polished it up, and it's you have a nice chunky Metal Gear game.
Totally.
And with 4, I was like, yeah, I thought this was like the end all be all, and this is great. Like, I'm seeing, like, you know, Snake Daddy.
Oh yeah, every question is answered. We're all good.
Exactly.
And no, dude, you're good. One thing that I'm totally baffled by is Major Zero being like the primary antagonist of literally the entire franchise exists in a single cassette tape in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Thank you.
The kind of shit that I'm talking about is like, what this
register.
It's bizarre.
They were doing like the whole fucking thing like what Star Wars did, with like fucking J.J. Abrams came back, and it's like, well, the real baddie of it all was Palpatine. I go like, what? Like, the fuck? Like, he died. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, or the worst part of all that, by the way, was if you just watched 7 and then just watched, if you just watched, is it 8 and then 9, right? Yeah. If you just watched 8 into 9, the only way that you even know the Emperor is back is because of the fucking title scroll, where it's like, the Emperor is back. But but they announced that the Emperor was back in a fucking Fortnite crossover event.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm almost glad that Metal Gear is not more popular, because then we would see like
Fortnite,
Snake and Goku going at it with,
and that's what like I would say like the fans who like want the clicks, that want the likes, are saying like, you know, if you bring Metal Gear into Fortnite, it'll be great. Everyone will be able to see these characters. And I go like, that sounds like a fucking horrible idea.
Yeah,
like,
why would you do that?
It's like, that's not what this series was about.
Yeah. Like, thankfully Konami's dead at the wheel, so they would never do that anyway. But Fucking company, man. I love
Mm.
Contra. I love Metal Gear. I love Silent Hill. Like Castlevania is phenomenal. Like
I would say, did you get the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection?
no, I have not. I need to.
I haven't either. I'm like a log of games. There's
Dude, I have too many. I have not bought a game in a long time because I have far too many fucking games to play.
I just got the Steam Deck so I could finally play Death Stranding.
Oh, nice.
I never got a chance to play it, and I was kind of like living it through you guys, like going over it, and I go like, this game sounds really interesting. But when you listen to an audio podcast, I'm only getting like half the picture.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for
what
sure.
the fuck are you guys talking about? Because at one point
Yeah.
it was like, wow, this Johnny guy really loves energy drinks, like in Death Stranding. I'm like, what? Like, what about Death Stranding energy drinks? Like, what?
What you should do if you haven't seen it already, so Conan O'Brien did a whole episode where he goes to Kojima Productions, and it's very funny to see Conan's take on Norman Reedus's piss grenades and shower scenes and stuff. Conan's in the game.
Yeah, I saw somewhere along the line on the internet, like I saw like pictures of him. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, if you never play the game or you don't know this person behind the series of this new franchise, you'd be like, why the fuck is Conan O'Brien
Oh
doing
yeah.
a video game? Like, this is like weird.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, you're totally right.
I can understand that people like Jeff Keighley, yes, because he's like,
Yeah, Junji
glorified,
Ito. Yeah.
boyfriend / robot / is he a hologram created by the company
Yeah.
Productions. I can understand like Jordan Vogt Roberts, like all these other people, like, yes, they're fans, they're in the world.
Yeah, Sam Lake from Remedy.
Oh, especially they're they're in the same business, same industry. They're people like he wants to like rub elbows with.
I keep forgetting Guillermo del Toro and Nicholas Winding Refn are just straight up ass main characters in the game.
Yeah, I didn't know they were characters in the game. I would just like, because with Kojima, like, he's always like putting pictures on social media where like, I'm talking with blah 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 today, and I go like, why are you talking to the director of Drive and talking to Guillermo del Toro? Like, what is going on? Like,
also, why Johnny? How fucking weird would it be if I was like, hey Johnny, I want my game. Come to my studio. I'll scan your body. We'll put you in the game. And you're like, great. When do I record my lines? And I say, no. Johnny, you're not recording any lines, buddy. We're going to have your body voiced by this other guy. I feel like at a certain point, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
and I've heard him del Toro talk. The accent is okay. Like,
he's fine.
From my world, it's like, yes, I'm someone whose parents like Puerto Rican, Ecuadorian. I'm used to hearing someone with a heavy accent, especially
totally. Yeah. My mom's the thickest Italian accent you've ever heard.
Like, so being a child of immigrant family, like I understand, like I can hear like a person's accent, like I can hear like the words they're saying, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, he talks fine, and like, dude, the character doesn't even have that many fucking lines, man. Like,
it just sounded weird. I was like, this man's lips is moving, but someone else is talking. It feels like I'm watching like the Muppets.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, it's like if you invited me over and scanned me into your game, I'd be like, did you just turn me into like a digital sock puppet? Like, what did you just do?
That'll be me like digitizing you and then using the Aviator. Like, I'm gonna have Denzel Washington do.
Oh, please God, that would be amazing. Please, if you could make that happen.
Like, that's my game. But here's Alessio. Here's my new character. But Denzel does his voice. People be like, who is this person? Like, the voices don't match. Like, what?
Dude, that's another game too that like, and maybe Kojima's onto something, like maybe from a marketing standpoint. I don't know. I used to see the way the money shakes out, but it's like I heard that half of the budget of the game went into the cast.
I can believe it because, okay, I see like Tommy Earl Jenkins, probably not a lot of money.
Right.
With Norman Reedus, probably not money. Like, you're getting like,
maybe. I mean, you're still getting like TV. Yeah. You're still getting like B list, A list TV. I mean, he's not like AAA TV, but he's like,
when I hear Norman Reedus, I think of Boondock Saints, and not just
100%.
I think of the first one.
Yeah.
And I kind of like go like between time going like Boondock Saints, Walking Dead.
That's pretty much it.
He's done other stuff. He's been on other movies, been on other TV shows.
I want to see somebody mod Willem Dafoe in as Fragile for the entire game.
That's actually pretty good. But yeah, like if all these other people, it's like I can see like head likeness, digitize their faces, like that part.
Dude, Mads Mikkelsen and Lea Seydoux are like Oscar-winning actors.
Exactly.
And not only is it their looks, but like they're straight up performing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then you've got the $1 Million Woman, whatever her name is. I cannot remember her name.
Oh crap.
Anyway, yeah, you've got her playing two characters. You've got Margaret Qualley, who was fresh off of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like very fresh off of that movie. And then even what's his name? Her video game voice. Joel from Last of Us.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. I don't know. I was thinking Travis Baker or something. But I mean, all these guys, it's like, dude, I bet Troy Baker doesn't come cheap.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he might come cheap for Kojima, but.
And I just started that game, and it's like, this is a whole other world.
Oh, dude, it's bananas. Like,
it's kind of like the big, like if you would put somebody like who's never played Metal Gear and through this world of like, I would always say like both these worlds, like all these like fantastical worlds, like it's grounded, but then you start sprinkling are like otherworldly. Like
totally.
With Death Stranding, I feel like it's more on the supernatural end, like dealing with like life and death.
That's actually one thing I really like about Kojima that I don't think enough people talk about is his ability to have realistic stuff happening alongside very unrealistic stuff. Also, and I'm just thinking about this for the first time. So Snatcher is just straight the fuck up Terminator and Blade Runner, like 100%. Metal Gear is Escape from New York, 100%, like whatever. I mean, it became its own thing, but it started out as. And then you've got Police Knots, which is just Lethal Weapon in space. And like literally that man has ever done has been like a knockoff of a movie. Like even the baby in PT is like fucking Eraserhead Baby from David Lynch. But it's like that dude rips everything off. I think Death Stranding might be the most original thing he's ever done.
Yeah, because I'm playing it like, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm actually looking for something like, where did he get this from? Like, where's he getting from all these things? Like, and I'm only in the beginning, and it's like it feels, it looks, and plays original.
Totally, it's great. Like I think personally, biggest thing I think he's done in his entire career. And I don't think it's perfect, but for me at least, it's probably one of the most interesting things I think he's done in a while.
Oh, it's refreshing because I'm playing your games all over again, because I'll pop in the game every once in a while to like kind of like go back into that world. And it's become like a thing where it's like I'm going down a rabbit hole and trying to like I'm reading.
It's a Reedus hole.
Yeah. I am reading all the emails. I'm trying to get a crotch shot before he smacks the camera out of the way.
Oh no.
Because you know what? My wife is like, I don't know what she Googled, but she's like trying like how to like see Norman Reedus' penis.
Oh no.
And I go like, I don't know. With her, it's like any of these games, there's a penis involved.
I think Norman Reedus' penis got scanned. Norman Reedus' penis is a funny thing to say. Do you think that Norman Petus appears within the game? Like, do you think that there are game files? Did Kojima ask him to dong out for the scanner, do you think?
Maybe. I mean, he probably would do it too, because he would probably think like, well, this is very artsy, so
that's true. It's part of the process.
Go with it, and I can only imagine like Mads Mikkelsen in the corner smoking a cigarette and watching.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. Yeah,
like, dude,
Mads Mikkelsen is very funny. I think Mads Mikkelsen is kind of like one of the interviews that we missed. So we reached out to his publicist and it was too late. He
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, Mads unfortunately is no longer doing interviews or press tours related to Death Stranding." Like the last
Yeah.
interview he gave was like a month before we reached out, and I was like, "Shit, we could have had Mads."
Yeah, yeah. Now
Uh,
that's an interesting man.
dude, so
All
crazy.
along. And
One of the listeners, I don't know if you were on the Discord when he was active, but one of our old listeners
mm,
lives in Denmark, and just straight up sees Mads Mikkelsen like randomly. Like he'll be at a bar and like Mads Mikkelsen's like across the bar, just like hanging out.
oh damn. No, I must have missed that.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know,
bananas.
I came in late to the Discord. Like I didn't know about Discord. Like I don't know how long it's been around, but like everything else, I always say to everyone, I am always the one that's late to the party.
Well,
So
this
I
party ends because now this podcast and the Discord just exists on a meteor hurtling through the internet. So
exactly, and think of anything else. And I would say, like, is there anything that you wanted to bring up? Because everyone I bring on, we talk like Kojima related, and I would say, like, if there's anything you didn't get a chance to like say your piece or say what anything you wanted to say during your tenure, I always say, like, say it, say what you want to say, talk that talk if you want.
oh man, there's 300 plus hours of me talking
Oh,
on on the internet, so I don't know if I need to contribute more, but I guess curious about, and maybe it will require some editing because you'll have to think for a second and it'll be quiet. But
mm,
in thinking back to Metal Gear, I always like when we were talking about this sort of like sensory things, right? Like the sound effects or like the atmosphere or the music or whatever. When you think about Metal Gear, what is the very first thing that you think about? Like, and it doesn't have to be like it's Snake or it's this, like,
mm.
where like when I say Metal Gear, are you like, oh, I hear the snow sound from Shadow Moses? Like that is the first thing that my brain registers.
Gotcha.
Do you have anything like that?
For me, I would say it has like nothing to do with the games. It's more of a memory.
Mm,
And with me, I would have not come across Metal Gear if it wasn't for my mom.
mm,
She was the gamer, and I've said on my podcast and previous episodes, but I'll say it again. It came to a point where it's like I got bored with Nintendo. I went to my mom, who was also a game. We would play games together like all the time, and I would say like, "Hey, can we get like another gaming system?" The Nintendo is like, I'm getting bored. I need something for like and like, I'm 14 years old and getting to that teen angst phase.
mm,
And I need something to like, go with like an adult theme, towards. And, we'd always go like Funko like every weekend. And this is the weekend where, during that time, like 1998, I'm at all these systems and I'm thinking of stuff like, what do I want to play? And mom kind of steered me towards like the PlayStation and
mm.
through all the gaming catalogs. And the one game that was like had the cleanest cover that didn't
Oh,
like
it's
and
the
like
cleanest.
yeah, it didn't have like a character a animated character in the front. It didn't have like, guns basically showing on the cover page of it. It was just Metal Gear Solid on white background with red lettering, and on the back, kind of like briefly describing what the game in the most like briefest way.
It's like some corny copy too. Hold on, I'm gonna look up the back cover. It's like the copywriting on the back is very corny, I think.
Yeah. And that's like one of the things where it's like we compromised together and said like we're gonna get this game, and we played it together, and that's where one of my core memory for this series is it started with my mom and it continues on.
I love that. I'm
It-
very glad I
yeah,
asked you that question.
because you know what, unfortunately lost her in 2010, so that's where kind of like
Oh man.
I kind of fell off with Metal Gear. And when the last one came out with Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, I played I didn't play Phantom Pain because everything was going down with Kojima. And it was kind of like bittersweet where it's like, this is the game where like I played with my mom. Like,
Hmm.
we kind of like had that like thing together. Like, mother and son bonding. And it got to a point where I had the game, it was wrapped. I never played it. I opened it because it's like one of those bittersweet things where it's like
Oh yeah,
both my worlds kind of like ended at that point.
absolutely.
And as my wife were, being like close to like 10 years together, we're like, maybe we should start of our own. And in doing so, the birth of her into the series again.
Oh, nice.
And then I actually play the games with her because I would have to be up 3 a.m, all these feedings and diapers.
Yeah. How old is she?
She is 18 months right now.
Whoa, dude. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And for for everything, like she's brought so much joy into my world. She's actually brought me back into the series. Like Roxanne, who's my daughter, brought me back into like the gaming series, who she now enjoys. She's at the phase where it's like words are part of her vocabulary. So
nice.
Obviously I'm not showing her like all the gruesome things. Like I'm showing the things where it's like you could hide in a box, you can hide from guards, you can knock out guards, and she's slowly like kind of like getting imprinted with Metal Gear into her life.
Oh my God.
I was like,
I love it. Well, dude, I 100% can't even imagine how difficult it must have been to one, to lose a parent is pretty brutal, but two, I can't even imagine tying a memory of somebody you love so closely with a thing that like Metal Gear Solid 5.
yes,
Yeah.
I have.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't know how you could do that, because I would almost, I think almostly in like to my core, I would sort of feel like if I finish this, my mother is also gonna be gone from me. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just, I don't know, man, that's crazy. Like I'm glad that you were able to like have the strength to do that. And I'm glad that you're able to now kind of turn the page and be on the other side of that. And that's really cool.
Yeah, I would say like last game, it took me 6 years to complete it.
Holy shit.
And people were like, 6 years? Like, did you never play it? And I'm like, sit down, I'm about to tell you a story.
That's crazy.
It became like one of those things where it's like I didn't feel like what everyone else felt. Like there was, I know I can see like everyone I speak with like this like kind of like ending.
Mm-hmm.
And for me,
That's perfect.
yeah, for me it was like this is how it ends. This is how it goes on. Like there's not a real ending. Like so it kind of were a thing where it's like it ends, but it doesn't end in a way.
Totally.
I'm trying to like
yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like losing somebody. Like you still have to wake up the next day,
exactly.
Like,
You have to
crazy.
keep going. You have to keep going on with your life.
Right. And I do think, I mean, I will, to the game's credit, I do think the game does push a message of, hey, you might not be big boss, but like, you still do your best and pick your shit up and go for it every day,
Damn, I feel on a sour, like sad.
No, dude, you're good. I think the best stories, and maybe it's me being sentimental the older that I get, but it's like, it's part of the reason why I like Metal Gear Solid 2 so much, because I think, well, to kind of tied the act of playing the game into the game itself. And so it's like, oh, the Solid Snake simulation, that's what I'm doing. So the fact that the game was like, hey, dude, we're turning you into Solid Snake. Like I was like, oh shit. And 5 is like, hey man, anybody can be Big Boss. And it's like the older that I get, it's like those kinds of message, like the end of Last Jedi, when it was like anybody can be a Jedi, or the end of Enter the Spider-Verse, where it was like we're all Spider-Man. It's like those kinds of stories I think get me the most pumped up, and it's because it's like not really for, and I'm going to say this is like a almost middle-aged man, it's not really for us anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit, I mean, I'm glad that you're replaying the games, and I'm really glad that you're sharing it with your daughter, because it's like, I don't know, man, like we had the games, and I think now it's like time for somebody else to have them, and it is what it is, like I mean, I wish the games were more readily available on
Yeah.
current hardware. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's cool to be able to pass the torch.
Yeah, like I wish on modern platforms.
Yeah, even if they don't clean it up at all,
Yeah,
like if they just
force them.
straight put that shit on, like I would buy every single game for Switch, PS5, Steam, whatever. Like, go make some phone calls.
um, it's close to 10 o'clock.
Oh no, dude, you're good. Um,
Yeah.
cool, dude. No, this was a blast.
If I was just like, if people want to reach you, where can they reach you, Alessio?
So I still have to clean up my website. I've been talking about this forever. So you can go to alessiosummerfield.com. That's ALESSIO Summerfield.com. You can go there to see film projects. I definitely need to update it because it's like been years of stuff since then. I would say you can find me on social, but I feel like these days I've become so with checking social. But I mean, if you want to, like, you can tweet at me at AC Summerfield or Alessio.Summerfield on Instagram. But I would say more than anything, I mean, if you like what Johnny's doing and you want to hear more about this, or you want to hear more from me, or if you want to hear more from Sam, who Johnny had on the show, Metal Gear Mondays, check it out. Spent years of my life on that show.
I would say the fact that you're saying it, like, wow, it feels short, but it.
Oh yeah, more than half it.
Mm-hmm. And say, like, I want to thank Alessio for coming on and for sharing his experience. That this series has basically been in his life.
Dude, thanks for sharing yours with me. I feel like that was worth it.
I would say, like, with each person, especially from the Metal Gear Mondays side, each person I've talked with, I'm slowly showing more and more of, like, on my end. Because, like, for me, I want to make it more about the guests and not about the host. In a way, it's like, because it's like this is their journal entry of what they've experienced, and it's slowly becoming where it's like Johnny's saying more of his life.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like
That's interesting. Like, you don't normally hear that a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for the conversations to get anywhere interesting if it's new way road. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I think you're doing a great job. I mean, you're not. I have conducted many an interview and many a bad interview in my life, and I don't think you're doing the. I don't think you're doing the number one bad thing, which is talking about yourself more than you're letting your guests talk. So.
Oh no, I like to hear from my guests. Like, I want to hear from their voices, like what's been going on, because for a lot of my guests, like, you guys have been the ears in my voice. Like, you've gotten me through my shifts at my job, and got me through, like, times where it's like it's been it seemed like pretty bleak. And that break and just hearing you guys, because especially with days, there was this emphasis on the comedy. And at the time when I was listening, I needed that comedy relief to go with this that I enjoyed.
That is one crazy thing, man. Like, I don't want to I am not the kind of person who pats myself on the back, but like, going back old clips for the finale season, I was legitimately blown away at like how laugh out loud funny some of those episodes are. And I was like, how the hell is this the same show? Like,
oh my god, I love the blooper reels.
Oh my god, dude.
For the time. So it's like this is the gold that I've been looking for.
Oh yeah, no, insane.
For a lot of the other avenues for this game, there's been a lot of serious.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-seriousness in the Metal Gear community.
And also over seriousness.
Yeah, dude, these games are not self-serious at all. These games are so corny. Like,
I always say to everyone, like, these are just games, first and foremost. And they're not to be taken seriously.
Oh yeah. Dude, 100%. Kojima takes the piss out of himself in these games too.
Well, now he's taking the piss and use it as weaponry.
I think that is the That is the perfect ending point.
I'm going to end it there.